This is What School Didn't Teach Me, a podcast meant to build community on all the things school doesn't prepare you for. Hi, I'm your host, Jasmine Kiamber, and class is in session. Hello, classmates. Welcome back to another episode of What School Didn't Teach Me. It's your host, Jasmine Kiamber, and I am over the moon that you have taken time out of your busy schedule to spend time with me, spend time with us in the classroom. Now, y'all, last episode, we talked about dating ourselves, and I told y'all that it will be a while before I come on here and talk about dating because, we know my track record. But, if it's a conversation we want to have, I will bring somebody in who just knows more than me, who is just more experienced in that field than I am. So today I have my first lady, Lady Dominique Haddon, who's given me permission to call her by her first name, y'all. So
Yes.
Pray for us there, to just talk to us about relationships and, more importantly, maintaining individuality and finding balance in those relationships. Our theme for this month is to invest in ourselves, invest in the relationships we have with ourselves. And I know for me, I could get really caught up in, if I'm dating someone, I can get caught up in whoever I'm dating that I might forget about myself. So, Dominique, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad to be a part. Thank you for even inviting me and thinking about me, thinking I had enough wisdom and knowledge to share with your viewers. So thank you.
No, yeah, I'm like, I see you just as a member of the church. I have seen you really pour into yourself. Like, yes, you are an amazing first lady, you are an amazing wife and an amazing mother, but you have your own life. And that is so, to me, so admirable. I love to see it.
Yes. I think you have to have your own space because, like you said, you can definitely get caught up into somebody else's world and then forget about what you're called to do and assigned to do. So you definitely don't want to drop the ball in that area.
Yeah. So let's hop right into the conversation. Like I already said, you're a wife, you're a mother. Tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about your family.
Okay, so I am a Los Angeles native. I am not a transplant. I was born and raised in California. Um, I am the baby of my mom's kids, but I'm the fourth oldest of my dad. So I have five brothers and three sisters. Um, I am a high school graduate of Gardena High School, class of
Okay.
2003, and the originators. That's what we named ourselves. I also have an AA degree in liberal studies from Southwest College, and then I have my bachelor's degree in liberal studies as well at from Cal State Dominguez Hills. Um, when I was little, I always wanted to be a teacher. When I would line my little dogs up and I would play school, and I always wanted to. I think my passion would be more like to help people and give them information so they can become better people. So, long story short, I did finish graduate. Like I graduated high school, graduated college, went on to graduate school to get my credentials. I ended up getting pregnant. And then, I had my daughter, so I was only missing one class to get my credentials to teach, but I was too lazy to go back because I was being a mommy. And my ultimate goal is to go back and finish so I can have my credentials to teach eventually if I choose to. So that's pretty much my story. Oh, you're going to ask me more later on, so I'll just leave it. I'll stop there.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. You went to Southwest. I got that same degree from Southwest.
Yes.
Yes, I didn't know. I didn't
Yes, I
know.
did. I did.
Okay.
It took me too long to get out of there, but they had me start from like the bottom up. So I was
Uh-huh.
like, okay, yeah. Took a little longer than usual, but yeah.
So, in your journey, how old were you, or at what stage of your journey did you end up getting married?
So I was 28 when I got married. Let me make sure. Yeah, 28. Um, I wanted, the crazy part is when I was in high school, I don't know if they still do this. I feel really ancient. Cause anyway, you will have to write like your goals or whatever you want to do after you graduated high school. So I wanted to
Mm.
be married at 25. I wanted to do hair. I have a little skills in that. I don't think I put down teacher, but I always had a passion for teaching. But I think I
Mm.
said I wanted to do hair and have my own hair salon and all those things. Um, so like, yeah, 28 is when I got married, and it was a little bit later than what I wanted to, but nevertheless, it happened. Hmm.
Yeah. And how did you know? How did you know that Pastor Disha was the one? What really sold it?
Okay, so it's gonna sound crazy because um, I don't like to cook. I don't have a passion for it. It is not my thing. I will cook because I have
I was
kids. They
about
have
to
to survive.
say you had Thanksgiving. You had it.
I honestly, I just, I don't know. I don't. I guess because you feel like in society you have to cook because you're the woman,
Mm.
but I really don't have like that passion. But I can cook. Um, but I told God, I was like, listen here. We've already gone through enough guys to know that these guys are not working. So the next guy, I need him, I need a sign or something where I can know that it's him. So my sign for myself is that I will cook for him. So he's the only guy that I've ever cooked for.
Wow.
So I've made him dinner. Mind you, this is like the first time I've ever made dinner, and he enjoyed it. I was like, Lord, I didn't kill him or nothing. So right there, I knew, okay, I was like, this is it. This is the guy. So that's how I determined this was the one for me.
Okay, I don't think that sounds crazy at all. I think I think if you're willing to love somebody that much to be like, I don't even like doing this, but I'll do it for you. I
Yes,
think that's
yes.
more than enough. So, of course, you haven't been married your entire life, right? So,
Right.
what were some things that you saw growing up that kind of influenced, like, this is kind of what I want in a person, maybe this is what I don't want? What were your introductions to love before you got married?
Well, okay. Let's see. Well, let me see where I want to start. Okay, so my I grew up in a single parent home. So my parents were divorcing by the time I was born.
Okay.
I was the keep the marriage together baby.
Mm.
So I never seen in my own household, my mom being in a relationship. I can't remember that. But I would say the people that I kind of model myself after were like my grandparents.
Mm.
Um, they had been married for like, ooh, probably the time I was born was like probably like 30 years. And
Okay.
then later on, it was like 50 years and they were married until my grandmother passed. But that was probably my first introduction to love and relationship. Like I need something that's gonna last a long time. I don't have time to be doing these Hollywood type of relationships. You married and then divorced in 72 hours. I can't do it. So um, I think for me, that was my introduction to love and longevity in a relationship. With my parents, though, although they were divorced, they had a really good relationship. And I felt like even if you couldn't be with somebody, I think that's a good place to have with that person, especially if you have children. You have to be cordial and things like that. It wasn't perfect, of course, but I think having that, seeing that as well, helped me to understand how you can love somebody even if it doesn't work. So,
Yeah.
but that was my real introduction to love.
That's good. That's good that they were able to maintain a good relationship because that's
Yeah,
extremely important, like you said.
yeah,
Mm.
it was good. Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, you've been married. Have you been married 10 years or is it coming up on 11?
It
Or
will
is it
be
longer?
11 years on July 20th.
It'll be 11 years on July 20th.
I'm like,
Hold
am I
on.
even, am I even that old?
No, no. Well, happy early anniversary. Are you planning? Well, we'll talk about that outside of the podcast.
Yes.
Um, but you've been married 11 years, and I'm sure like more now than you did when you first got married, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
was there ever a point in your marriage where, because you're a mom, you're a wife, I know that can get really that can consume a lot of your time and a lot of your identity, right?
Oh
What
yeah.
was that process like for you? And was there ever a point where you felt like, okay, I need more individuality. Let me go create that for myself?
Okay, so let me make this as short as I can.
No, we want to hear you.
Without skipping too many parts. But when I first got married, I had this mindset that you kind of like go with the flow with your spouse.
Mhm.
But my first thing before I was like to find myself was I actually quit my job, which is what my mom hated. She was just like, "Oh my God, you don't ever let a man." So I was like, okay. I was like, he's like, I want you to, just be a wife and a mother. And I was like, okay, cool. I ain't got to go to work. Okay, no problem. But I felt like in that process of letting go of that part of me, like not working, I was losing my own sense of identity. So I was now transforming into this housewife. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And uh, so that's like the first year. I'm trying to transition from being, I already have a kid. So I'm trying to be now working mom to now just stay at home. Like this is all day long. You're with your kid. You got to figure it out. You're with your spouse. If he's not there, it's just you and this child. So I'm like, okay, let me see. How am I going to do this? Raise this child, keep the house clean, cook. So it's a lot of responsibility. I was like, oh my gosh. So I felt in that first year of marriage, I needed to do exactly, what my husband wanted. And that comes with, like I said, a lot of expectations too, and a lot of
Mhm.
responsibility. So if you're not working, then you're expected to now clean, cook, take care of the kids, uh, pay bills, run errands. It's a lot of things. There's no break. There's no time for you. So you're definitely going to lose yourself. So I
Yeah.
had to manage getting up every day, get myself together, get my kid together, and then figure out what we're going to do for the day, or if I need to cook dinner, things like that. So it's like it's a slow process of you losing your identity. So I want to say that went on for about, I want to say 5 years of marriage. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I need, I'm done. I'm done. I need time to myself. I can
Mhm.
remember before I got married, I had like this mini, like little breakdown because I was like, okay, this is a lot. Having a kid, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And um, Pastor Dietrich didn't grow up in a household where like the men helped with the kids. So I was like,
Mm.
hey, sir, like this is a team effort. This is
Yeah.
not just me. This is us. We created this child together. So you got to put your hands on this, something, pick up something, change a diaper. He didn't change diapers. He was afraid that he would hurt the baby. So it was a lot of
Oh.
even walking him through the parent process of like, it's okay. You see how they handled the baby? You see how the nurses just be flipping them kids? So it was a really just trying to navigate through that through that season without breaking down mentally. And then,
Mhm.
like I said, maybe 5 years into the relationship, that's a long time. I was just like, you know what? I don't even know who I am. I don't even know what I like. I don't know what I want to do because I've centered my whole life around. By this time, at 5 years in, I had two kids. Um, uh, you know, trying to find my way around, trying to figure out what I like, what I don't like. I don't know. Do I want to do this? So it was just a time where I was like, you know what? I have to create a space for myself where I do things. And then once we started the church, it's really kind of like when I was able to tap into who I was because now you have to become the first lady, and the first lady has to like things, this you have to now make decisions, you have to have your voice and things like that. So the calling actually allowed me to find myself, find my voice, find what I was assigned and called to do, and allowed me to have an identity again because now it's not just Dietrich's wife, it's First Lady and what First Lady is doing. And if you know, if you don't know, but Pastor Dietrich, his strength is not administration or organization. His strength is creativity. So for me, this is a space where I can thrive in because that's something I saw my mom do. She was very organized and structured, and she made a lot of decisions. So that's something I have, my strength. Oh, I can do this. So this is where I found my identity, where you're able to now um, tap into your gifts, your calling, your purpose, your assignment. It's not churchy, is it? Because I don't want to be too have a lot of church
No, no, no,
jargon.
no. Honestly, like faith is a large part of the podcast.
Okay,
So
great,
like
great,
we
great.
talk about church, we talk about faith.
Okay,
Keep going. This is great.
okay. I want to make sure. I'm like, oh, I was like, what is she talking about? But
Uh-huh.
just your purpose, your calling, your assignment. That's where I felt when we started Hill City Church is where I found my identity. It didn't stifle me. Now I can tell you the call, it can make you feel some type of way because then it was now the identity of First Lady, and then now creating a space for myself where it's like this, I'm First Lady, but I am Dominique too. So I would
Mhm.
say maybe 2 years into, no, a little bit longer than that, say long periods of time, maybe four years into, no, I'm gonna take it back, about 3 years into pastoring, I was like, you know what, I am a hands-on type of first lady. I don't want to have to sit up in front of the church and look pretty while everybody's working. I felt so bad. I was like, no, I got to do something. I got to help. So then we started, the children's ministry, and then I was doing that. And then the other ministries we had, then I started I Am Woman, and that
Mhm.
gave me my own lane. And then, of course, I did, things outside of church where people were like, that's not what first ladies do. But I'm like, but that's what I do. That's what I enjoy.
Right.
I like to have fun. I like to live a balanced life. So once I started being able to be myself,
Mhm.
like I said, with Hill City Church, it allowed me to pretty much pinpoint who I am
Mhm.
and discover or rediscover Dominique.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good. And I'm like, for those who don't know, First Lady runs the church. Like it's this it's this running joke that if First Lady ever gets sick, if she has the flu or anything, God forbid, but we just won't have church that Sunday.
It's shut down. It's shut
What
down.
are we gonna do without First Lady? But no, I love that, and that's extremely realistic for you to get in a relationship. You have this new role of wife, you have these new roles of mom, like that's something that of course somebody can give you advice on, but that's something that you got to figure out for yourself for the most part.
Yeah.
And to be going through a lot of days just kind of getting through it, readjusting, and then finally deciding, hey, I want to know what I like. That's very realistic. So like it's not even that it's a long period of time. That's your story. That's something that I
Yeah.
know a lot of people can relate to.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What did I'm sure in finding yourself you had to, or refining yourself, you had to create a lot of spaces for me time. What did me time look like for you while you were dating? And did it look different once you became a wife and a mom?
And the answer is yes. So for me, okay. So when I was single, I had a lot of free time, but I was a serial dater. Like I would go from relationship to relationship to relationship because I was like not comfortable with myself yet. But once I kind of was done with the dating situation, I would spend a lot of time with my friends,
Mm-hmm.
and then outside of that, my me time would just be going to school, um, studying, church, uh, nails done, get my hair done, things like that. I didn't really. Oh, and I would go to the movies and go eat. That's pretty much it. It wasn't a lot of how can I say me time activities you can do back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of stuff is like kind of new because people are finding that self care is important. Like back then it was not. So I feel like really like a grandma. But just back, even just like I said, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, self-care was almost looked down upon, especially, in American society. Just having time to yourself, you were either labeled as lazy, or you didn't have your life figured out. So it's a lot of pressure to be able to just go, 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 and go. But when I did find time for myself, it was, like I said, it was really just pouring back into me as it pertains to my career. So studying, um, I love movies, watching. I love romantic movies, especially romantic comedies.
Me too. Me too.
Eating, going out to eat, and then just pretty much hanging out with friends. So that's pretty much what my single life looked like, and going to church.
Hmm. And what does it look like now? What does you time look like now?
Child, I don't even know. Me time. Okay, I'm gonna say nails done. Um, uh, working out, and I wear wigs, so I don't really go get my hair done, because that, to me, that it felt stressful to get my hair done, because we in there for 6 hours, so it didn't feel like
Yeah,
me
that's
time. It
your
felt like
whole
a chore.
day.
Yes, I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. So and then now it's just, sometimes I just sit at home and I'll just get on my phone and watch the world through social media and see what everybody else is doing and what's going on in the world, and that's about it. Let me see. Yeah, that's about it. Because I don't. Is always doing something, but me time, as well as like when my kids are away or my husband is away, is really just kind of cleaning up my house, like getting it reorganized. Because I found therapy in that, in a sense where I'm
Hmm.
able to think. I'm like, I'll be in the middle cleaning the shower. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Let me get my phone, let me jot that down, or get some piece of paper and write that down. So sometimes just not really doing anything gives me space for clarity, and also give me space for myself as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I like that a whole lot. I like
Yeah.
that a whole lot. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So you mentioned that it was about 5 years into your relationship where you realized, okay, I want to have more time for myself. I need to create that space for myself. And I'm sure that was a shift in your marriage. Maybe not discourse, maybe not conflict, but it was an adjustment. Were there certain boundaries that you had to set, maybe with yourself, maybe with your husband, or even with your kids, to make sure that you were setting time for yourself?
um, it was a little bit of, I'm gonna say it was a little bit of a discord, because how can I explain my husband? My husband just loves me.
He does. He loves you so
And
much.
he used to be like so broken hearted. I was like, I need time for myself. You don't love me, and I'm like, I do, but it's a lot of you all the time. Like, I need to be able to go to the grocery store by myself, and he's like, what if something happened to you? It's like, I ain't nothing ready to happen to me. I'm going up the street and back. So it's just like, okay, sir, that's a little too much for me. But um, he will feel like I didn't want to be around him, and I was like, no, it's just I just need to be able to communicate with you better about my own personal needs. So I need to be able to take some time to reflect,
Hmm.
to say like, oh, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what we can do, this is what we cannot do, this is my day off, these are the things that I need, X, Y, and Z. So it allows me to to clear my head when I am away. But um, he he understood. He It felt like like I said, it felt like a personal attack, but it wasn't. It was more like, to me, that's a sense of self care, but it's not
Yeah.
like when somebody needs you all the time, it drains you.
Yes.
And for me, I give a lot. I don't give halfway. I give my whole self. So if there's something you need my mind to, I'm gonna stop whatever I'm doing to do that, and then now I turn around. The rest of my day is on.
Yeah.
So um, I think um, it allowed me to. How do I want to word this? It just allowed me to. It allowed me to be, like I said, it allowed me to be able to communicate with him better, to figure out my own personal needs, and then just tell me the question one more time.
Like, like what were some of the boundaries that you
Oh,
had to
boundaries,
set?
boundaries, boundaries. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'm going. Yeah, okay. That's what I was like. Okay, I'm going, but I want to make sure I'm going. Okay, so I had to create that with him so he can understand that my time away from each other is important to have a healthy and a long lasting relationship. Because,
Mm,
like with anything, you can have like almost like a burnout. If you do too
yes.
much all the time, you're like, I am sick of this. I'm
Yeah.
sick of just sick of it. So I don't want to come to a place in my relationship where I'm like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm done
Mm,
with you. It's just too much. I'm out of here. So it allowed me um uh to readjust my attitude, because sometimes I could be like on edge and have like a real bad attitude. Like, I don't want to talk to you right now.
mm,
And when I feel like when I have those boundaries set, I don't have to tap into those emotions to get what I need.
yeah.
If I don't set the boundaries, it causes, conflict. It causes us um, to not be on the same page, and also confusion. So definitely don't want that. And then also with my kids, they don't understand boundaries. They don't care what boundaries I set. They were like, you're the mom. Hello. You like, you can't. No. And so I was like, I have to turn y'all in, because at this point, y'all won't let me have my
Oh.
time to myself. I have to return y'all because what's going on. But the boundaries for them, um, I pretty much tell them, listen, it's 10 o'clock. I don't even listen to mommy after that. So you're on your own, kid. Figure it out. You're thirsty, go on, turn the lights on, go downstairs and get yourself something to drink, and you
Mm,
got it from there. So they've they've gotten into where they can do their on their tablets. They know how to FaceTime and text, so they will text me all night long if I let them. But I put, what else things? A little focus on now.
yeah, the do not
I don't do
disturb.
nothing. So it's on silent. I have
Mm,
silenced you for the night. So, but those boundaries are very important, because it gives you time to create space, like you said, for yourself, but also um, makes you hold your own self accountable for
mm,
those boundaries you set. And I think when you start making boundaries in this part of your life, you'll be able to now create boundaries easily in other parts of your life. So yeah,
mm. I love that. And I think I am the same way. Like when somebody asks me to do something, or when I am ready to love someone, I give my all. Whatever I'm doing,
Mhm.
I give my all. There's no 50-50. but
Right.
but you're right. When you don't have the right boundaries set, or when there isn't enough, I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a different phrase than you time, but like when there is not enough space for you in a certain setting, it definitely can be like nobody touch me, nobody talk to me. You become like overstimulated and, like you
Right.
said, burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's
Oh yeah. Big time. Big time. I think with everybody in relationships, when it comes to like dating, I think that my mom used to tell. Let me say this. My mom used to tell me, don't make yourself so readily available. So
mm,
there's times where somebody, if you're dating, they say, can you go out this day? Like, no, I can't go out today, but I can go out tomorrow. And she said,
mm,
just make yourself sound busy. So that person won't feel like they can, have full access to you. And I'm not talking about when you're married. I'm talking about, in the dating process. So it's
mm,
like playing hard to get, but not so much, but it's just creating boundaries to make sure that this person don't feel like they have all access to you at all times, this, that, and other. And I understand being young and liking somebody and things like that. You want to spend all your time with them, but I think time away gives you a space where you can have this perspective to be able to see them for who they are. So
yes.
if you can't go, maybe there's going to be some kind of interaction where, excuse me, where now you can say, oh, there's something else is unlocked. Okay, this is a new you. Okay, I'm experiencing this for the first time. So it's really to me, like we said, with boundaries, it's really important to now create those spaces in our dating world as well, where we're not giving our full self to people because we see it so much on social media. I see a lot of people like, y'all not married,
Yeah.
y'all act like y'all married. Like, I mean, living, I mean, I live together too, but living, I mean, everything together, but you're not married. Not saying everybody needs to be married, but just some spaces where you should be able to go home at night to your own place, and he should be able to, or she should be able to as well. Or now there's a boundary. There's a space where you guys don't have to be dealing with each other 24/7, because now without those boundaries, and if you say for instance you do get married, it takes the fun out of it
Mm-hmm.
because you already know
You
it's like, okay, oh, I gotta live with
you've
this
done
for the
it
rest of my
all.
life now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And we talked about this on another episode. I'm trying to think. I think I think this episode. Yeah, we talked about this last episode. How, like, I know for me and the people in my age group, we spend so much time with our significant other. We get so involved with another person and let them occupy all of our time because we don't quite know what we want or what we like just yet. We don't spend enough time figuring out, like, okay, in my free time, I like to paint, or, in the morning, I like to do yoga. Like, what are the things that you actually like to do for you? Do you have a schedule for your personal time? Because if you don't have that, then
Right.
somebody else will come along in your life and you'll just give them everything.
Right. Oh yeah. Big time, big
Yeah.
time, big time. For me, like, okay, so for my thing, like I like to do, I like to look on Amazon and find things and create things. So I was like, okay, this will look nice. I'll do this. I can move this, and it gives me, to me, like a sense of control, in a
Yeah.
sense where I'm able to now create a space on Amazon, but it's also to now transfer that into, into my home or whatever I'm trying to recreate. But it
Mm-hmm.
gives you, like you said, you tap into your likes and dislikes or things that you like to do outside of that person. And then
Mm-hmm.
when they ever ask you, like, hey, I'm interested, are you interested in doing, hopefully it's not shopping on Amazon, but maybe. But, like you said, it may be painting. You like painting, let's go. I want to do a sip and paint somewhere. Let's go do that. They have like the trap ones and all these other things, but it can be something you guys do together for them to say, okay, oh, I like this or I don't like that. And it's like just kind of knowing each other. But for me, the time I spend, because I have kids, so it's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my time is set when they go to school. So my kids, I'm done with them probably 8:45 in the morning, and I
Okay.
don't pick them up until 3. So that wide space of time is where I'm able to now do what I like to do. If it's, like I said, if it's shopping on Amazon and creating those my wish list and things I need to get, or to me, what I tapped into with church is really like creating little flyers and things for church.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to kind of tap into that creativity because it's not something I felt like I was good at, because I'm not an arts and craft type of person. But in that space, I get to go and look at different creations other people have created, and then kind of mimic those things. Like, oh, I can do that. I
Mm-hmm.
found that and I put that together, blah blah blah. So I think in that little like 5.5 6 hours that I have to myself, I'm able to tap into my creativity. I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to um, be able to use the time that I have allotted. And I know everybody don't have 6 hours to themselves unless you single and don't have nothing to do after work, if you're not if you're not working or not at school. Um, where I'm able to kind of tap into that and like I said, unlock some things inside of me I didn't know I had. So I think it's very very important to use the time that you have. I don't care if it's 45 minutes, but to create that time for yourself
Yeah.
and etch it into your day every day. So if it's, like you said, if it's painting, if it's going to the gym, if it's whatever it is to build you, I think you should mark that in. And if you have an iPhone, you have little this thing called reminders where you can put it in, and it'll do it if it's every week or every other week or every other day, whatever it is, you can set it for it to be that way, so it can remind you
Yeah.
to do it, and it will bug you. It will bug the heck out of you. I was like, okay, okay. So I think, just like you said, just having that space of time to be creative or to have time for yourself is very, very important. In this space, it's very, very important, because if not, you'll be like a vagabond. You'll be trying to figure it out, wandering from here to there, and then you become too. So we don't talk about that. It's like extra clingy with your significant other,
Mm-hmm.
because they may have already tapped into what they like.
Yes.
And now you're trying to, and they're like, oh no, I'm going to play basketball. This is what I do every day. And now you feel some type of way because they have something to do. Well, I'm stopped. Yeah, you didn't stop your time, but he didn't, or she
Yeah.
didn't. So you have to now, when he's playing basketball, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Or she's doing painting. Now, what are you going to do? So are you going to take her away from that time, or are you going to find something else to do in the meantime while you're waiting for them to be done with what they're doing? So I think that's very important.
No, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Because once you start taking them away from what they like to do, then it becomes toxic. It becomes
Yes.
toxic. It becomes codependent. And I'm
Yes.
sure, like, having your own space, doing your own things, having your own hobbies makes it like, so at the end of the day, when you see your spouse or your significant other again, it's like, oh, yeah, this is what I did with my day. Like, now I
Yes.
like you more because I've had time to myself.
Yes. Yes. That's facts. Big facts. Yes. 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 Because I don't think people realize that you need to miss your spouse or miss your significant other.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, something like, oh, here you come. I seen you. Woo! I'm seeing you all week, huh? You didn't go do nothing. You just been here. So I think that's very important to miss your spouse, and to, like I said, not take them away from what they're doing and what they've already had set and what their allotted time, but for you to now go and discover what you like. It could
Yeah.
be, I don't care if you go to Michael's and get in a craft class. Go learn how to do something. Go spend some time doing something that's gonna better you in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. Okay. Okay. Um, I know that it's about to be 2 o'clock, so I want to be valuable of your time, or I know your time is valuable, and I want to be considerate of it. Um, so okay, so we kind of really talked about how, like, a big thing that people aren't doing or may not be doing is like focusing more time on themselves while they're dating, to prepare for whatever their end goal is.
Okay.
Is there anything that you felt like you should have done more of in your dating season to prepare you for marriage, or your single season to prepare you for marriage?
Um, I feel like, for me, I did a lot of things when I was single. So, like, I did the club scene, um, activities and things like that. So I don't feel like that's why I think I was ready to get married when I got married. But let me narrow something down so I can say. I just feel like I should have been more focused on my career. Like, I think I should have really been tapped into being a teacher. Like, even after I got pregnant and had the baby, I should have just been right on back and going back to school and not get locked into motherhood, where it kind of, I don't want to say robbed me, because it didn't rob me, but it uh, gave me a little slight pause, long pause. The kid is 12 now, but an excessive long pause, where I feel like I could, and especially in this day and age, to be a teacher. I don't know if I might have been, maybe it might be a good pause, because I might have been trying to fight the kids, but
Yeah, these kids.
these kids, yes. But I feel like I could have probably made an impact in my community when it comes to teaching kids, especially those in the inner city, where they don't have the skills or the mindset or the resources to really tap into whatever their potential is or their assignment is. So I feel like in my single time, I should have um, definitely been more focused on my career. Um, yeah. No regrets though, but just I just feel like that would have been something that I probably felt like I could have done better.
Okay. And I feel like you still inspire kids, especially I know for me in my age group. It was like when I first came to Hill City, it was like, this is the first lady? Like she's wearing jeans. Like that alone was like, this is a representation of what it looks like to be in Christ, but still in Christ, representing him, but still not letting your environment consume you.
Correct.
Like
Yes.
you still have, like you said, you still have a life. You still, you talk the way that you do, you represent yourself the way that you do, and it is like you're not out here in these streets, like like it's not like you have duality, but you are not
Right.
living in a lukewarm way. And I know for me, as a person who grew up in, I don't know, I guess you would call it inner city, like I grew up in a very at-risk area. To see somebody who looks like you and still represents Christ definitely still does make an impact. So I mean, there's still space, room, time. Like you are the perfect representation of this is what you could be. So
Oh yes.
yeah.
No, like yeah, because I mean, like with Hill City, it gives us this, like you say, the space to be able to do that. And then when I was, like I said, with going back to identity pieces, I want people who come to church to be able to, like you said, see themselves like you see yourself in a movie. Like, okay,
Mhm.
I love God, but I like to have fun. I like to, being a Christian shouldn't be boring. It shouldn't feel like you're restricted. I feel like your Christianity should be your moral compass. It should keep you from
Yes.
doing things that you shouldn't be doing. It shouldn't stifle you for being who you are called and assigned to be. So like I said, when I got like really really serious with God, I was like, listen, now this is going got the bargain because I can't be one of these people over here to be acting all crazy. I need to keep
Mhm.
my identity. I need to keep my personality because I feel like this is how you made me, and I feel like this is how I'm going to be able to connect with other people. Um, where in a space where most first ladies cannot
Yes.
because you either too busy trying to judge somebody. Oh, girl, your skirt too short, and you this. I'm like, let them live. Eventually, something's gonna get inside, and it's like I need to pull this up a little bit and pull that down. But I don't want to be the clothes police. I just want to be not saying like I want to be cool and there's no things like that. I don't feel like people can't uh, uh, not be themselves or in a sense where they're disrespectful when it comes to their relationship with Christ or the church and things like that. I just think you have to give people space to grow into what they've been called to do. Just
Yeah.
because you arrived at your destination already, they're still on their journey. So we
Yeah.
don't know what would transpire between them. What if I stepped in and say, pull your dress up or pull your shirt up? Or, now I didn't put a detour in their relationship with God. That's between them and God. They'll get it together one day. I'm
Yeah.
glad they come to church. So I
Yeah.
just think when it comes to being a first lady or being a Christian in any sense, you should always use that as your moral compass, of course, but also use whatever God has given you, your personality, your talents, to use that as the bait to get people to believe it into what you believe in. And not in the sense where you're trying to manipulate them and things like that. You're like, oh, God gave you that? Oh, yeah, let me tell you about my God. Boom, boom, boom. So these are
Yeah.
different tools to be able to reach the lost or people who are, especially with your generation, that ain't too pleased with, church and God. They believe in crystals and sage and all these other things, all these other entities where they feel like they got to tap into other things to get to God. I said, well, y'all have a lot of requirements to do with that too. You got to turn that rock a certain way in order for it to work. So you be saying, well, you got to do this. You do too. You do too. At least it's lead to something. I feel like it's the greater good. That's it. So I just think finding your identity, being who you are, God already designed for you to be who you are. So it's not trying to be somebody different because now you're robbing yourself and those who are eventually going to be assigned to you, your assignment, or people who are going to need you in whatever capacity God is going to use you in. If you rob them of that, now you rob them of their destiny as well. So
Yeah.
I just think it's very important for us to be mindful of who we are becoming, who we influence, and also be mindful of what our assignment is ourselves. So you be able to tap into that, and that's where all the me time come in, where you be able to
Mhm.
Get your little journal, whatever it is, and you can be able to talk and talk about talk to yourself, write down your goals. I know they call it manifestation and manifesting and all this other stuff,
No, not
but
everybody calls it that.
but just tapping in. We manifest things, but we gonna call things into existence that's not as though they were. That's Bible. But we're not
Right.
manifesting like this. I'm gonna be a millionaire. Da, 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 da. It's just like, listen, okay, God, here we go. This is my plans. Tell me what your plans are. If they align with your will
Yep.
for my
I'll
life,
see you through
boom.
them.
Yes, let's
Mm.
come on. So I think that's very important to spend time with yourself so you can know what you have been called and assigned to do and know your purpose. So yes.
Hmm. I love that. Okay, last question.
Yes,
To
ma'am.
send us off, I know that, you know, I know a lot of people who are about my age. Some of us are married, but a lot of us are still like navigating the dating scene and just are trying to make it out of there. So dating can be scary, it can be intimidating, and it can sometimes even be a taboo topic, especially when you don't quite know who you are yet, when you're still trying to figure out, maintain your own identity, maintain your
Right.
own balance. Can you leave us with maybe, something encouraging, or maybe a tip that you, I don't know, are giving to the single people out there who just need to remind themselves you are still the main character of this show. You are still the star of this show, even while you are looking.
Okay, so I have a niece she'll be 21 this year. I can't believe it, but she has a little boyfriend, and I guess they call themselves, in a relationship. Child, for me at 21, 22, 20, I would say around there. I don't think you should be really focused in on a relationship. Like I said, like you said, if you don't know who you are, I don't think you should link up with anybody. I think maybe casual dating, like going out as a group, will probably suffice those lonely moments or feeling like you need to be validated or whatever it is. But I think a long term relationship in that stage, I think is not good, because that's what I would tell myself. Because you really rob yourself of those times, or that time where you need to tap into who you are, figure out what you want to do with your life, and you can get consumed, like we talked about earlier, into somebody else's life, and now you find yourself building their life, but yours is neglected.
Hmm.
So it's really spending, find you like a group of friends. I don't care if it's male and female, or all male, all female, whatever it is, where you guys can kind of, I don't know, group date. Y'all hang out. Okay, we going every, you know, Saturday. We're going out to eat. This is time we spend time with each other, and you can spend that time where you discuss with your friends something, your friend group, like you would do with your significant other, your plans for your life, what you want, what you don't want, and kind of figuring those things out collectively. I know they have, during Valentine's Day, they have Galentine's, or you have Friendsgiving and things like that, where you come together, where you don't have to be alone on those special holidays, or whatever it is. Just really creating spaces where you travel. That's big. Go do something. Go do something fun, productive. Don't run behind no man, or don't run behind no female. Don't run behind trying to get, your goods and all those things. Just really try to um, tap in what you've been assigned to do. I don't care if it's being a teacher, a mechanic, a plumber, being an entrepreneur, whatever that is. Starting a podcast with your friends, whatever it is, be like Jasmine. Don't focus your time on really just one individual. Date a lot of guys. When I say date, I don't mean having sex. I mean just interacting. When you feel you need to be with an opposite sex, cool. But if you don't just get yourself locked into a relationship, because you don't know, that guy could be blocking you from your husband if you choose to be married. So I'm telling y'all, be raggedy. They be real raggedy. So really tap into you. So when you do get into that meaningful relationship, you won't be all burnt out when it comes to dating. That's kind of like how I was. I was like, oh, here's another one. But just really tap into whatever that is. If you're in college, if you're working, Put your effort into those things and building yourself up. If you still, you got your own place, figure out how to redecorate that place. Make it look good. Whatever. Get a dog. Some people they got dogs now. Get a dog. That's companionship. So it's just little things like that where you don't have to feel like you have to be, like you said earlier, codependent on another individual. You can really
Mm-hmm.
just focus in on yourself. You can leave that dog at home, put it in a crate, and you can still go and do something without somebody nagging you about what you're doing. You can
Yeah.
go have fun. And I'm not telling you to neglect the dog. I'm just saying the dog is gonna be okay. It can't call you, can't do none of that. It'll be all right. You get home, be somebody to come home to. So just finding really creative ways to utilize your time that's going to better benefit you, and it's not relying on other individuals. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that wasn't too much information, but hopefully that helps.
No, it wasn't too much information. That was actually very helpful. That was real good. And now I want a dog. So
Get you a dog, or rescue a dog, or go. They don't want you to buy one, but if somebody got breeding dogs, go get one. Yes, they're
yes.
fun. You know, you got to clean up after them. It's like a little baby, but you got to feed them every day and take them for little walks. But outside of that, a little bit of barking, you'd be good. You'd be all right.
Yeah. Hmm. Well,
Yes.
thank you so, so much
Oh,
for
you're welcome.
giving us all your wisdom, making it fun, making it interactive. Like, I couldn't have asked for somebody better to come and talk to us about relationship.
Yes. I'm here whenever you need me, Jasmine. I'm here whenever you need me.
Oh, don't say that because you'll be
Yes.
back. Y'all heard that, classmates? Dominique will be back in the classroom. Okay.
Yes.
So for any of the classmates who are in Los Angeles, come to Hill City, okay? Come to Hill
Period. Come
City.
hang with us.
Come
Yes.
meet us. We're a whole lot of fun. I mean, clearly, as y'all can tell, First Lady does a whole lot within the church. You can come meet her. You can come meet me. I would love to see the classmates in church.
Yes.
Amen.
Come get your praise on. And then we're doing a line dancing class. So if you don't like regular church, you come line dance with us. That'll be on June 4th. Yes.
Ooh. Well, I need to write that down. So I need to write that down. Yeah, so for any of the Los Angeles classmates, come meet us at Hill City. You can meet me, you can meet First Lady. Um, and we hope that you really get to walk away with, First Lady dropped a lot of nuggets. Like, First Lady dropped a lot of nuggets. We have a lot to walk away from in this conversation. And I just hope that you can walk away with something that helps you pick up something that helps you invest in yourself, that helps you invest in yourself instead of pouring your all into someone else. It's nothing wrong with loving somebody. It's nothing wrong with giving somebody your time and your affections. But we want to make sure that we are not putting ourselves on the back burner as we cater to other people. It's
Right.
just that does not have to be our ministry. Um, so, Lady Dominique, you will be back in the classroom. Thank
Yes, I
you
will.
again. And I love y'all. And we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.